All right, everybody. I am back. I'm Scotty J. You're watching Rock Titan Live, and we have got an amazing guest with us right now that you can see on the screen, Cory Marks. How are you, sir?
I'm doing really well, man. How are you, Scotty? Thanks for
Good,
having me.
man. Yes, thank you for joining us on Rock Titan Live, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Yeah. So, for everybody that, obviously we were chatting a little bit off the air, but, everyone was just checking out Outlaws and Outsiders. Man, that was killer. How much fun was that to do?
Thanks, man. It was a lot of fun, even just from the writing process with my co-writers. Kevin Churko was my producer as well, and his son Kane
Yeah.
Churko. It was a lot of fun writing it, and I was really excited when we cut the first the original Outlaws and Outsiders, and then once we found out these featured. Uh, Very thankful and excited to have them part of this new project.
Right on, right on. So, one of the other things we were just talking about, everybody, we got Cory Marks on here who broke my cherry because one of the things that we want to make a conscious decision of in 2020 on Rock Titan Live, we are going to be branching out a little bit, in the genres of music and the kind of musicians that we talk to, because of course, Cory, you are a little more on the countryside, although
Yeah.
listening to that song, everyone's like, dude, we need a lot more of that, man. Like that country rock country, whatever the
Yeah.
heck you even want to call it. It's so hard to put labels on, music anymore. And it's like, all,
Yeah.
and everyone wants to label everything these days,
Yeah.
you
Good
know?
music is good music. So as long as everyone thinks it's good, then that's what we're going to keep doing. And we got a lot more songs like that on the record. So it's really excited. We got another track coming out very soon, in the next month or so. That's very similar, if not heavier than that. So looking forward to it.
Right on, right on. Now, what's on your hat there? I need you to point your camera up a little bit more. What's on your hat? What you got? What you representing there?
These are my boys from East Coast Canada. It's a company called Country Liberty.
Okay, all right.
So they've been sending me some hats and shirts, and they've been a great endorser for me, and I love their merch. So you guys can check them out, Country Liberty. They make a great product, and it's a cool hat. I like it. Check.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. See, when you got a beautiful head of hair like you do, man, you shouldn't be wearing that hat, It's going to make your hairline recede. Believe me,
Well,
I played baseball. I know, man. You know?
yeah, I didn't have time to do my hair this morning for you, so I had to put my
Oh, you're
feet.
going to give me the bad hair day crap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. See, I haven't had a bad hair day in years. It's a beautiful thing. We've got different product for what we need to use above the neckline, but
Yeah,
you know I want to backtrack a little bit and go a
sure.
little bit over your history if you don't mind, Cory, because I think it's
Absolutely.
so interesting. I mean, music was it's always been a passion of yours, obviously,
Yeah.
and you've got the talent in abundance. And I don't know if it was your first love or not, but before the world knew Cory Marks as as a musician,
Yeah.
you were heavily involved in ice hockey. Being from Canada, big shocker
Yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
know, I know all you guys are born with ice skates on, and a hockey puck in your mouth. You
Yeah,
know,
pretty much. That's our
oh
soothers up here.
oh man! But then also you've had a passion for aviation. You actually wanted to be a fighter pilot, yeah?
That was the dream, man. Yeah, yeah. I actually grew up in a very musical family, but also, again, as you mentioned, in a hockey family. So my brother was actually a draft pick to the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2006,
Oh wow!
2007. He's still currently playing professional hockey. He's on his 12th or 13th season now out in Dundee, Scotland. But he played about 4 or 5 years in the AHL. He was in the East Coast in Florida as well for a couple of years, and I obviously took a different route after my time at the Royal Military College of Canada,
Yeah.
where the plan was to be a fighter pilot. That was the dream, and well, I ended up picking up the guitar, and I think it's worked out for me so far. So I'm going to continue down that path, but I'm just a few hours short of my private pilot license, and I still play hockey every now and then in the beer league tournaments, and just some pickup and have some fun and get a skate in.
Cory, I'm not gonna try to insinuate anything here, man. But rock star, pilot hockey player. You know, you just wanted the babes. I mean, come on, man.
I,
You know,
I still got on my teeth too, so I did all right.
that is. Oh, I was just going to ask you that, man. You got a bridge in there, or there's dentures, or what? You know, because I
No,
know
those are all real. My brother can't say the same. He's missing one, but he put more. Surprisingly, he put more pucks in the net, and I played a lot more with my gloves off.
I was good. Well, you're a guy with size too. I mean, you're like over 6 foot tall. You know, a couple 100 pounds. You're like, you know, built like you know, a Marvel comic superhero. You know,
Yeah, Thor, right?
right? Yeah, Thor. Exactly.
Not as
man.
lean as him though.
We
I
got Thor with us. Everybody, yeah. I mean, I thought we had Cory Marks joining us on the show, but turns out we actually had Thor. And
Oh, man.
yeah, and he can play ice hockey, and he can fly planes, and he is a wicked musician to boot. I swear to God, man, holy, that's like the trifecta. That's got to be like the trifecta of getting babes, you know?
Well, I have a very special babe, so I'm fortunate enough that she puts up with my shit. So it's I'm lucky for that.
Man alive. Man alive.
But,
Now, do we have any Bruce Dickinson aspirations here? Are you going to be flying your own 747, you know, jet, you know, on the tour trail?
a little bit different. I don't think I'll be flying 747s, but I'm already looking into, you got a dream, right? So you think you'd be optimistic, and if all goes well with this music thing, or I should say when it all goes well, the plan is to buy an older fighter jet or fighter aircraft and fly myself around, and a little more, I don't want to say style, but I think in a cooler manner. A 747 can't go upside down or pull 7Gs, but a jet can. So
Wow. Right on, man. Right on. So have you seen any of these new trailers for Top Gun Maverick?
I'm all over. That's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
I was downstairs. We were watching a hockey game, shocker, with my dad, and then we were flicking through the channels, and Top Gun had just started. This was over the Christmas break, so we start watching it, and of course, we're about 4 or 5 minutes in. And both of them, I just from my peripheral vision, I could see both of them kind of looking at me like, "What the hell, man?" Because I didn't even really realize I was doing it, but I was saying every line before the lines were said, and so my girlfriend laughed. She hasn't seen Top Gun yet, so yeah. And then my dad went back to the hockey game because he's like, "I can't watch this with you. You're saying all the lines before they're said," kind of thing. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. So the plan is actually to have my girlfriend watch Top Gun, the original Top Gun. And then go see it in theaters, the second one. So that's the plan. Me and a whole bunch of buddies are definitely going to watch the Top Gun 2.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, with other, fighter pilot movies and, aviation related movies and stuff like that, I got to ask you this, because being a musician and, with the kind of music that inspired you to become a musician, as well as all the time. I know that you've logged hundreds of hours flying, and you have to. I know you got to log like a certain number of hours to be a pilot. But where I'm kind of going with this is Iron Eagle. Did you ever see any of the Iron Eagle movies?
That's the one with you remember like Blockbuster, and you used to be able.
Right. Yeah. You're younger. You're younger than I am. I'm like.
So there's like the three guys. I think there's like an explosion going off, and there's like a stealth fighter behind them, or an F-16 flying over top. I remember that, but I don't know if I watched the whole thing.
Well, the whole thing was the whole gist of it was this kid, who wanted to be a fighter pilot. He would, fly in, his planes, and whenever he got into the plane, he would strap up his, his tape deck recorder, like his Walkman, his Sony Walkman. He'd like strap it to his thigh, and he would blaze heavy metal, rock and roll music, into his headset as he was flying. So like he wouldn't listen to anything else that was going on around him. He would just be like flying, jamming the tunes, and I know that. Deep Purple, Ozzy Osbourne, and stuff like that. But did you ever do anything like that? Like when you were flying, just fly and you're like jamming the tunes, like you're in a simulator or something.
In my head, yeah. Especially when we get the aerobatics and stuff. But you could tune in and find certain frequencies, and you can catch some radio stations, but you definitely want to be aware of the traffic around you and any control towers or control zones you're in. Yeah, you want to pay attention to those radios.
See, that's where Hollywood comes into play, man. It's like totally bogus. No one could ever do that because then you'd be dead. But I can't believe how fast time's getting away from us here, Cory. And I knew I needed like at least half a day with you. I
Hey, that
knew I
sounds
need.
good, man.
You know what I mean? We're definitely going to have you back on the show. We got
Would
a few
love to
more
be.
minutes here, but I want to talk about again the Outlaws and Outsiders
Hmm.
having a legend like Travis Tritt, and then you got Mick Mars, Motley
Yeah.
Crue and Ivan Moody. What was it like working with those guys? How did that even come together?
Well, see, the cool thing is I'm the first and only country artist on the record label Better Noise, and so my
Yeah.
label mates are actually Papa Roach, Motley Crue, Five Finger Death Punch, Bad Wolves, all these guys, and Hell Yeah, which at one point was half a Pantera, which is super cool. Grew up on those guys, and Travis Tritt. I mean, come on. I think like I've been saying this lately that I think he's one of the only real country outlaws remaining from that era of
Right.
outlaws.
Right.
Who
Right.
hung around with Waylon and Marty and Merle and all those great guys. And then of course Ivan Moody. Is kind of that new age rock metal. Um, you know, and he's just we have the same producer as well, so it was very surreal. But now, ever since then, we've all been keeping in touch, and it's incredible to have this talent in my circle and these legends that got my back. So it was really a fun process. And what I want to throw in there too, I'm not sure if you read this as well. So before all this, the country music, well, country music was always in my family and in my blood. So
Right.
I'll make the long story short. So growing up, we'd all go down to me and my grandfather. We share the same birthday, 65 years apart. Unfortunately,
Oh,
he's
that's
passed.
wild.
Yeah, he's passed on now. So I live it up for him on my birthdays. I'm always double fisting, right? So you know. So that's on the Canadian Thanksgiving. So we would go up north. It's my mom's dad and all our aunts and uncles, right, would have guitars. Before I didn't pick up a guitar until I was about 19 or so. So I would just watch and listen. You're hearing George Jones, Buck Owens, Ernest Tubb,
Right.
Merle Haggard, all these legends, right? But then once I got in my teens, I was into Pantera, Arch Enemy, Lamb of God, Ozzy Osbourne. So I was a metal drummer before anything. Drums were my first instrument. So I was drumming Rush and Dream Theater when I was 14, and that progressed into heavy metal, and then I picked up a guitar. So that's basically how this whole album came together. I like to think of it as a mix of Merle Haggard, Ozzy Osbourne, and Eric Church all into one, and that's how you get Cory Marks.
So is that what we are going to expect from Cory Marks as we move into 2020? All the new music that you put out, yeah, we're going to see that fusion of all those influences?
You know what? I'm just thinking of a part in this song coming out very soon. It's called Blame It on the Double, and you know what? The more I think of it, there's definitely some Pantera, 5 Minutes Alone kind of breakdowns, cymbal smash and heavy guitar breakdowns. So it's very, with the country twist to it. So it's very cool, and I'm excited for people to hear it and see how they all react to it.
Blame It on the
Definitely
Devil.
different
So
sound.
when's that coming out? Blame It on the Devil by Cory Marks. When's that coming out?
Blame It on the Double is scheduled for the end of this month.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
So it's a cool track, man. It's a good
Very
anthem.
cool. Very cool. Well, man, we got to get you back on, man. We did not have enough time. I need a longer show. D, I need a longer show. Dean, if you're somewhere in the background, I think I need to do a double feature, like what Jimmy and Ron do. 50 minutes is not enough, especially when we've got, this guy, Cory, man. Oh, my God. Are you going to be going out on the tour trail anytime soon? Are you hitting the tour trail?
Yeah, well, actually, I'll be in Reno, Nevada, February 27th, and Las Vegas, Nevada, on the 28th, and then I cross Canada with Canadian country superstar Gord Bamford from Winnipeg all the way to BC.
All right.
So looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to catch up with you. Maybe I'm going to have to take a road trip, or we got to get you back on the show. Because there's so many different things that I wanted to touch on. But everybody, I am telling you right now, 2020 is going to be the year of Cory Marks. Everyone go check him out online. Just Google Cory Marks. And that's Cory, C-O-R-Y. There is no E, So C-O-R-Y-M-A-R-K-S. Cory, thank you so much for joining us on Rock Titan Live. And I can't wait to have you back on, man. We got to pick up where we left off.
You got it, brother. Thank you so much, Scotty. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to chat with you soon.
All right, man. Take care. All right, everybody. So that's it, man. That is it for the show.